One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Oh, that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dives, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongsummercamp.com/simple. Check it out. Hey guys, how's it going?
It's
Great.
going pretty good.
So I got this like weird powder in a bag right here. You want to buy it?
No.
Yeah.
I got this weird pill. It's supposed to be ecstasy. You want to buy it?
Supposed to be.
That's what the other guy that got it from my friend said.
You know what? Don't take that.
No, that's stupid.
You know what? I'll do one better. Why don't I test it?
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
How can I test it? I didn't know about that. I was just going to take it.
You were?
Yeah.
I'm
one of the. I'm a flibber to gibbet, so I don't care.
Apple, didn't you know that drug misrepresentation is rampant in the scene? When things are normal, and we're all going to shows, there are those nefarious creeps out there that'll try and sell you bullshit.
Really?
Yeah.
What's normal?
I don't know. But Osiris and No Simple Road have partnered with DanceSafe. If you don't know who DanceSafe is, they are a non-profit group that raises awareness about the dangers of drug misrepresentation. And they provide adulterant screening service as well as peer-based education to help support people in making informed decisions about their health and safety.
That's nice of them.
Mm-hmm. That's a very sweet deal. DanceSafe prevents harm from consumption of misidentified substances for thousands of people every year. Did you guys know that?
I don't know all these facts.
Look, man, your life depends on your health and your safety. So get with the program, man. Go over to dancesafe.org or look out for their booth at your next live music event. Help them out. They help us out. They make sure that we're safe, and that's what's important. This episode of No Simple Road is also brought to you by
Shop Tour Bus.
Head over to @ShopTourBus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com online and pick yourself up one of those amazing Grateful Dead inspired t-shirts. If you happen to be one of those people that has a bunch of dusty old cassettes sitting in your attic or in your basement or in your mom's garage or something,
Help Shop Tour Bus out.
help them out, man. Send those tapes over there, because when you order a shirt or a hoodie from Shop Tour Bus, it's going to come in a hand-designed box with trinkets and different stuff inside the box.
Candies, sometimes
Little
gums, little toys.
Also going to have a real live cassette
It's a
bootleg.
box of fun.
It really
It
is.
a box of fun.
They're sending you a box of fun with an item to wear and things to do, things to listen to. Like, they're sending you a whole day.
That's actually true.
Yes, they
Sending
are.
a keepsake in the box,
Absolutely.
too.
Yeah, you take a shower, you put on your Shop Tour Bus merch, you get out of the shower. And while you were listening to your tape. You get out, you're still listening to your tape. Then you're like, oh man, I'm going to chew some gum. And you start chewing the gum from the Shop Tour Bus thing. And then you're like, oh, look at my sticker, I'm going to put on my water bottle.
And then you're like, I'm going to write a poem because there was a pencil to spool the
And
tape
look at
with.
this action figure.
So
I'm going to
there's-
go on an adventure.
Right?
Yep.
So they've literally helped you out during the coronavirus with providing you a box of fun
Yeah.
with no charge to you for shipping.
Just put in the promo code No Simple
Simple
Road
Road.
when you check out, and they will send that box to you free of charge, no shipping, and it'll come to your house with love and intention. Head over to shoptourbus.com online or @ShopTourBus on Instagram.
And just one other thing.
What? No.
You guys out there are killing it. They had their best week ever. So
Wow.
everybody out there,
Congratulations,
that's
Shop Tour
supporting
Bus.
them, and congratulations, Shop Tour Bus. So head on over there.
Yeah. And speaking of best weeks ever, this episode of No Simple Road is also brought to you by Define Premium Cannabis. 2 locations open right now in the Portland area to serve you Monday through Sunday. Every day that ends in Y.
Yeah, every day.
Mm-hmm.
Every
Pretty
day.
amazing.
One in Hillsborough, one in Forest Grove. Apple the Wizard works at the Hillsborough location. You can head over there and he will personally tend your bud from 6 feet away. That will happen.
Yeah, right now the floating on a cloud and the unicorn thing. We had to put the unicorn. He's in the stable right now.
Now you're riding on a tiger.
Yeah, we have yardsticks to point at things. All kind of interesting right now. But we are open to service your needs, your edibles, your smokables, dabbables, vapables, topicals. We have it all, and we will take care of you. We will take care of your head, your body, your mind, your soul. So come on out there, and if you come visit either location, mention that you listen to No Simple Road. You'll get 10% off your purchase, and you will get a free t-shirt.
Wow. That's a pretty good deal during all this pandemic nightmare that we're in right now. They are going to help you be calm and relaxed and anxiety-free throughout your confinement in your home. And
For
Apple,
right now, we're essential.
you are, dude, not just right now. You are always essential, my friend.
No, I know, but
Even more so
as
right
the
now.
government says, we're essential still.
Pretty cool.
As
So
of right now.
Define Premium Cannabis in Hillsborough, Forest Grove. Go take care of your health.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
This is John Barber, singer and lead guitarist for the Disco Biscuits. speaking to you about the Touchdowns All Day with John Barber podcast on the Osiris Podcast Network. On our podcast, we listen to Disco Biscuits music. We listen to a lot of other kinds of music. We listen to a lot of improv music. And I discuss what it takes, the clutch decisions that make epic jams. Use the hashtag Touchdowns All Day on all social media networks. Thank you so much for listening. We love you so very much.
Touchdowns All Day is not responsible for any cankles, head wounds, K-holes, cross-species insemination, loss of hearing, vision, or appetite. Do not delay seeking medical or professional attention because of something you heard on this podcast. Touchdowns All Day is not a substitute for a normal, entertaining podcast. Please use hashtag Touchdowns All Day responsibly. In the event of a medical emergency, call 911.
Sing it, Apple. Sing it.
I was about to, but I need a shoehorn.
We're going to shoehorn this into the episode. Hey now, No Simple Road family. Welcome back to another episode of No Simple Road. How you guys doing out there? Is everybody feeling okay today? No coughs. No, everybody's washing their hands and
I hope so.
Doing all the
hope
things.
Everybody's doing well.
Yep.
Are.
How you doing, Apple?
I'm doing pretty good today. I got to go out of the house. I got to go to work, which is still weird, but I don't know.
Who would have thought a couple of weeks ago we'd be happy about being able to leave the house to go to work?
Yeah.
We have like this amazing sought after position in life right now where we get to just go.
You guys are out there and I'm like,
yeah, kind of. But then there's that other part of me that's like, just shut us all down.
No, man.
For a little bit.
Trust me.
That's what we need to do. It's a very mixed feelings on everything.
I agree with you, Apple, because I feel like I'm missing out on the being home too. Like I'm not getting this experience of that everybody's getting. I'm getting something different.
Yeah.
Well, and even that, I'm not that worried. Like, it just seems to me like it's like shit or get off the pot. It's as if this is real.
It's real. It's real.
Yeah. It seems to be very real, and people are all still out fucking about.
Yeah.
So.
Stay home, man, because we got shit to do this summer. If you guys, we stay home so that we could do stuff later. That's all I'm saying. Like, there's a lot going on, but I personally need you to both go to work because I need news from the outside world.
I do bring home news every day.
I know. I can't wait till you guys come home because I'm like, oh, what happened at work today? It's like the highlight of my day. What?
I tried really hard to make you have multiple highlights of your day today.
You were a blast today.
And you didn't even work.
I didn't even work.
No, today was Mel's day off.
I was trying so hard to make you feel like it was a fun day at home and you had to work a little bit.
It did feel like that. And you know what? Our guest this week is having fun at his home too.
That's right, Kyle. You are having a blast with your cute little duckies. And
chickens, not ducks.
Well, I don't know why I said duck. You know why I said ducks? I was thinking about the duck feet from that book.
Some kind of fowl.
Sorry, not ducks.
Whatever,
Chickens.
birds. Those birds that you play with, Kyle. Kyle Hollingsworth from the String Cheese Incident,
woo,
everybody.
Woo, woo.
Yeah. And this is kind of very poignant because we did this episode 2 weeks ago. Week and a half ago. So all the stuff that's happening right now that's unfolded in the past few days and weeks was just beginning. Beginning when we started this. So you get to jump in the Wayback Machine with us and go back to the beginning and hear us pontificating and waxing poetic on the state of affairs in the world today. But, man, I want to say to all of you, thank you so much for the support that we've received during this whole thing that's going on.
Yeah.
All the DMs and
new Chan donators, DMs.
Man.
People tuning in to watch Mel's yoga stuff, meditation, my movie reviews, Aaron's story times. It's really cool. Awesome.
It really is awesome.
Having stuff to do right now is important for everybody, not just me, not you guys. And doing the story times and the movie suggestion thing and Mel's yoga thing has added so much to us at home. It's something that I look forward to during the week. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I saw.
Well, since there's nothing going on outside that we can talk about, we have all this inside stuff that we can talk about. Like, oh, I need help with this Zoom thing because I need to, I'm doing this class, and what are you going to talk about today?
What
Apple?
class are you talking about, Melanie?
Oh, beginning this week, April 2nd. Is that the day? Yeah, April 2nd. Thursday at 6 p.m. Daniel Schenken and I Daniel is from TAM Integration, and I will be hosting our first No Simple Integration Circle over Zoom. We are going to send you guys all the information on our Instagram and stuff like that. Maybe Aaron can you email that out too?
I can send it to our newsletter folks. Yeah.
Send it to our newsletter people. And hopefully you'll hear this before Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody who's interested, it's not a private thing. I just don't have everybody's email, and I'm very new to Zoom, so I don't know how it works.
I'm going to post a Zoom link up on our Instagram. Daniel will also have a link on TAM Integrations page. There'll be a link up on NoSimpleRoad.com.
Also,
if you want to sign up for the No Simple Road newsletter so that you receive invitations to these things up front and don't want to depend on Instagram, you can go to NoSimpleRoad.com and click the family tab, and you can sign up for the newsletter there. What were you going to say, Mel?
SitaRamdas.com is Daniel's other website where he has that information.
Oh, okay.
A brief little bio of No Simple Integration, and I don't know where both Daniel and I did bios. We wrote them, and I don't know if it's anywhere, so I'm going to give it to you so that you can have that as well. But yeah, so we decided during the whole talk about bringing content and positivity to the airwaves. Is it air? What is it?
To our family.
Yeah, to our family, to the community. We wanted to have something to bring us together. And talk about. And it's not going to be it's going to be whatever we want.
Well, I told Mel, they were talking about putting together a yoga thing, and they asked for my input, and I said, I think it would be really cool if you guys did something starting from the beginning, doing a class under the assumption that the people that are going to be in it have never done any kind of class like that before. So they, you have to assume that who you're speaking to doesn't know about chakras and doesn't know about tarot. And so you're teaching right from the very beginning of all of it all the way through. And they're putting together something really cool, man. I've seen behind the curtain.
We are putting something together really awesome, and our first class is indeed about beginnings. And something that Daniel said in our conversation prior to that was not just beginnings, but beginning again, which that in itself I have to think about.
Re-beginning.
Yeah, because he was there's a lot of shame attached to that. And I was immediately, it clicked with me, that happens. You give yourself a hard time for starting something, petering out and then restarting it.
Yeah.
That restart is very hard for a lot of people, because you're well, you didn't do it that first time, so what makes you think you're going to do it now? Or you already tried that and it didn't work.
Or try to say, I remember everything that I did a year ago, and then you got to start.
I don't need to
again.
do that. I already know all that stuff.
Yeah.
No, you don't, because you never finished it.
So all that crazy trail in your head that things happen, there's a guilt to that. So we will be discussing all kinds of stuff and having it. So it's like a Zoom podcast with Daniel and I discussing esoteric, yogic, spiritual, community stuff. And we want you to join.
And if you're into bedtime stories, I am reading bedtime stories every night at 8 o'clock Pacific time during the week.
Which is so cute.
I have to say thank you to Summer Langrel for donating some books.
Summer. Yes.
Donating some books to the cause for me today. I got some new books for you guys. I'm stoked about that. And I have to tell you guys, I saw something this morning that really it made my heart warm.
Yeah.
Tim from the Daddy Unscripted podcast.
Shout out, Tim.
I saw that.
Dude, he posted a video of his kid watching me read a bedtime story, and what he said underneath it struck me, because it's funny that I saw that today, because just last night when I finished, I was I wonder if anybody's even watching this and digging it. Am I just doing this for me? And then I woke up this morning and saw that, and I was like, okay.
I mean, we're not doing it just for us. Like earlier, I went on Instagram Live, and I read that thing that I had Apple print out. My client Susan sent me this amazing aha moment that she wrote about, and there, like, speaking of Tim, he was one of the watchers and sending little hearts. So even if you're doing it for yourself and no one else will watch it or do it or see it, do it anyway.
No, yeah. Even if there's...
I'm saying that because I need it.
Okay.
I need that. Do it for yourself.
And then following my bedtime story is...
What?
You.
Apple's cute
There's
little
stuff after?
T-shirt / movie / tchotchke
What is it,
review.
Apple?
I don't know. It's hard. It's
Time
the
with
Apple
Apple.
review.
Okay.
Just leave it at that.
I'm
good with that.
It could be a
Apple review.
It's a review of many things.
Look.
Knickknacks, bongs, whatever, story, whatever I'm into that night. Because I'm realizing, like, I would do a band every night. I don't have that many shirts.
You
can do,
like,
not
band
to bounce
stuff.
the poster. Yeah, poster. I like Apple's review because I review last night. It was a piggy bank.
Yeah,
and
that was
cats
really freaking sweet.
And peanut butter falcon and other things. So it's just gonna be whatever I'm into and whatever catches my fancy at the moment. Just having fun with it.
So if you're wondering what the thought process is behind all this, check it out. So
I don't
You guys
have
are
a
really
thought
getting into our
process.
home at this point.
Yeah.
Or whoever's paying attention anyway.
So check it out. Like, it's been a weird, turbulent couple of weeks, and a lot of us are feeling cooped up. We're all thrown out of our norm. We're not in our comfort zones. A lot of us are concerned financially. We're worried about our kids and education and all of this big, gigantic soup pot of things that we have that are possible anxiety-causing stressors.
The only thing we need to be worried about is toilet paper.
And I, in having No Simple Road, when this first started, I thought to myself, you know what? We have this platform, and there's people that actually listen to what we do. So it's important that we provide something on the other side of all of those anxiety-causing stressors during this time, just for the simple fact that the energy of it going out into the world is a counterbalance to the other energy that's out in the world. Like, if there's just one person out there paying attention to all this stuff, the vibration of it is still going out there and helping to balance the scales a little bit. And if for 5 minutes at the end of the day, at 8 o'clock at night or 11 or whatever, you're laughing because you heard Frog and Toad, or you get inspired to go watch Peanut Butter Falcon with your family, or you learn how to do mudras or whatever from Mel, those things are super valuable moments in your day. There's an infinite amount of time going on right now, but if you're practicing mindfulness, you're in the moment. And so if just for that moment you're smiling and your heart feels a little better and that lump in your stomach or your throat is gone for a minute, then we have done what we've set out to do as a podcast and as fellow members of the planet Earth that care about you guys. And so that's why we're doing all this stuff on Instagram. And Mel and Daniel's yoga stuff will be up on nosimpleroad.com. It will be up on the Osiris website and also on Daniel's stuff as well.
Yeah. I'm learning, you guys, and this is a really great opportunity has been a great learning opportunity for me in a lot of ways, and like stepping up even more, learning a lot of these technical things that maybe seem super easy to a lot of people, but just because I haven't done it, it's brand spanking new. So one, it's exciting to learn new things and to be a beginning student again. And then it's also a little scary too, like, oh, I'm going to mess up. Well, yeah, of course I am, because I'm new at something and you're not perfect. So once I start learning all this stuff, it'll be on my Instagram, and I'll like promote it more and all that stuff. But one thing at a time, because Melanie gets overwhelmed easy.
I wanted to bring something up that I was thinking about, and it has to do with our episode this week and talking to Kyle and String Cheese. And so was that this year that we saw String Cheese?
This year? No, that was not
last year.
This year.
It was 2019.
Jesus. Okay.
Tail end.
When we saw String Cheese, that was, and I've said this, my favorite show I've ever been to for a lot of different reasons, not just the music. It was the set and setting and the weather and the people I was with and the whole thing. And we've talked about this on the show that like the festivals and the concerts that we go to are a ritual. It's a happening, and that vibration goes out and it heals and it does things. It spreads love out into the world and creativity and joy and all that. And I was thinking today, like, none of that is happening right now. Like, that whole entire vibration has been stopped. Suspended as far as like group wide. You know what I mean? Like huge gatherings of people. But what happened, it didn't disappear. What happened is it broke apart and went into individual houses. And all these musicians are playing and streaming.
They're writing, creating.
And they're streaming not just to a few people in a venue. They're streaming to the whole world. So that vibe is not just contained at what's the name of the venue down there that we saw String Cheese?
Austin.
Not Autzen.
Oh, Cuthbert.
It's not just contained at the Cuthbert or at the Gorge or at the beach.
It's going out to the whole hive.
Yep. So you can't stop it. Like, even when circumstance conspires to shut it down, it's like whack-a-mole. It just fucking pops back up even bigger and weirder and stronger. And people like Kyle and countless other musicians have really like gone the extra mile and are like every day playing from their house. And Trey's writing new music and putting it out on the internet and playing it live. And like Keller Williams is playing from his living room.
Everybody's doing stuff. Yeah.
It's fucking amazing. And then not to mention all the streams that are going out. You know what I mean? All the old shows that are being replayed as streams. There's a lot of power in all of that for us as a family, like to get healing in the space that we're in.
It's probably the best thing that has happened since we've had the internet, is that being available now, and hopefully that sticks with us.
Yeah, man. So I was just thinking about that today, and I wanted to share that with all of you guys. Like I was pining away for a show, thinking, God, I want to go to a venue, and then I was just thinking about how it feels and like the whole experience, and then I was like, well, it's gone. And I, went down the road of like, oh shit, no, it's not. It got bigger. So
yeah, once it comes back, we're all going to be the musicians. All of us are going to be so raring to go. It's going to be amazing what comes out of this.
I feel like the coronavirus has made the world more cozy. And this is what I mean. I'm just talking about the internet. Everybody is forced to be at home. They're streaming from their home. You're like literally in their living room. You're in their dining room. You're in their bedroom with them playing their music, or in their personal studios, or in their parents' homes, or whatever. Like, we're getting to be inside with the people that we love to dance with and the people that we admire on stage. And it's brought this is my positive spin on negative again. The coronavirus, okay, fine, it's doing all this horrible stuff. I'm not talking about that. Talking about we get to actually spend time with our people. Kyle sent us a picture from his house with his chicks, sitting down, just chilling with his jeans on, no big deal. Like, we're getting to experience that as a whole world with each other.
Yeah.
People are sharing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the internet feels more cozy than it ever did.
That's true, man. No, I agree. I hadn't thought about it like that, but abso-freaking-lutely, man. It's way more personal. That's for
People are in our house. Like, I saw my bedroom. I'm like, what are you doing in our room? Like, in Apple's little room. And it's not intrusive or invasive. It's just like, whoa, like.
We never did that before because we
Never
were always
did
out on
that.
the porch and doing other things.
Yeah.
And it's cool it's cool. It's made me, well, obviously it's made me appreciate my room more. I'm looking at shit that we've been here 4 years. There's stuff I stuck on shelves when we first moved in here that have stayed in the same place.
Yeah.
I like set things up and they've been sitting there dusty. And now I've like realized, first of all, how much I need to dust my room.
You can borrow my
And
duster,
I
or you
started-
can hire me.
and
I'll
it's
do
a
it.
lot. When you got knickknacks, like it's like,
Yeah.
okay, one shelf at a time, reorganize. But I don't know. It makes you appreciate home. And
Yeah, and
or it can make you appreciate home. Yeah.
I wanted to say something, but then you jumped on another story on the note of what you were talking about earlier with all the information or all the stuff that we're doing. Like, to me, it feels like No Simple Road is extending the family to, like, our living room opened up to the internet.
Yeah, the house opened
The
up.
house opened up.
We
to,
took you off the
to
porch.
you guys, and that's always something I've been super private about because I just am. I'm not a millennial. It's really challenging for me to like look at the screen and look at myself and not feel strange. It's weird, but it's becoming less weird, and it's becoming more comforting for you guys to see what's going on in our place, because then it feels like you know me better and I'm not hiding my private self, my house self.
There is no separation.
Just took
Yeah.
London, we made you hang out on the porch for 3 years, and now we're letting you inside.
Yeah.
You're cool. You can come in.
Yeah,
Well,
we've known
for
you
me-
long enough. Come on in.
Yeah,
I'll
for
show
me,
you around.
it's a big deal because I'm very private like that. And so I realize like there's no need for it. There's nothing to be private
No,
about.
no.
I just felt like I need to have something that's mine,
Well, you got plenty.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah,
You know-
and that's where we keep the bathrooms private and things like that.
Well, for
you
now,
gotta keep
For
some
now.
this
privacy.
continues on. You never know what
Aaron's
could happen.
poop stories at 7 a.m.
Oh my
Ryan, stay sick. I'm just saying.
It's.
One of the things, like, I just realized while you were saying that.
You mean in response?
I realized while you were talking just now, like, this whole thing is making all of us grow in one way or another. This is causing growth to happen. And so
Big time.
that is how No Simple Road is. If No Simple Road was a person, that is No Simple Road's growth.
Yeah.
That's the way that it's getting larger, is through those mediums.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're going to get you to the interview, you guys. We're going to do the business real quick.
Kyle, thanks
business.
for coming onto the show, man.
We
Thank
love you, Kyle.
so much. And we love string cheese.
And you guys, if
Yeah.
you haven't listened to his new solo album, go purchase it and help him out right now. All the artists need your assistance.
Yeah.
It's
So
freaking amazing.
super fun.
Listen to the show,
and-
purchase the album.
Yeah, and it's different. Like, it's one of those where each track is kind of different, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And it's super fun. Like Kyle
he's
is
fun.
Yeah.
That's a great adjective for Kyle. Fun. So follow us on Instagram at No Simple Road, on Facebook at No Simple Road. Join the No Simple Road family group if you want to do the Facebook thing. If you don't and you're a Reddit person, go to r/No Simple Road, and the No Simple Road group is there as well. I told you about the newsletter already, but you can go to www.nosimpleroad.com and you can sign up for the newsletter on the family tab, and you can also purchase merch there. We got t-shirts, and we have an official t-shirt model for
Oh my
the No
gosh.
Simple Road family.
Jared Delaney, you sexy beast with that shirt like open and the No Simple Road poking out. Like, that looked so dope. That's exactly who I want wearing our stuff.
I
Period.
saw that, and I was like, oh yeah, you're in, you're hired.
Yep.
100%.
Thanks, Jared.
Yeah, man.
We support it.
Also, we've talked a lot about venues and artists needing your assistance during this coronavirus pandemic time. No Simple Road is included in all of that. We need your assistance. All our shit got canceled too, you guys, and we depend on all that stuff for our financial well-being. So we have our PayPal, which is nosimpleroad@gmail.com. If you want to do a one-time donation, you can do it there through the PayPal. Or if you want to give $1 or $2 a month, I know a lot of you are struggling out there. And for those of you that aren't and you want to help out, you can go to patreon.com/NoSimpleRoad. Help No Simple Road stay able to continue doing what we do and bringing you interviews with artists and doing all the stuff that we do when all this is said and done. So that is the business side of the show, man.
That is the business. Well, other than also go leave us those 5-star reviews on the podcast. No, I looked.
Oh, okay.
No, we haven't had a new one lately, but go hit that 5-star thing.
Yeah, man. If you're home and you're chilling, which every single one of you right now is, help us out, man. Go to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review and a few little words of love and move on with your day. And also, go check out Kyle's new EP. It's called 2020, and it's on Apple Music and all places where music streams. You can pick it up and help him out as well. So, anybody have any final parting words for the family?
No, other than, well, did you have anything? I was just going to say, get ready, kick back, and this was a super fun. This is a super fun. For those of you that have seen String Cheese, know how dynamic Kyle is and how super fun he is. And this interview is the same. This is really fun getting a chance to talk to him.
I would like to say, just when you walk past a mirror, take a smile at yourself.
Nice.
That really does help. It reminds you that you are beautiful underneath whatever you're thinking at that time.
I like that. You know what? I think it's like that. Like when you flirt. I'm sorry, I got tongue tied.
Wow.
I was trying to get how to say it without sounding like I was going to sound like flirt with yourself in the mirror. Like when you walk by and you kind of,
hey,
like,
beautiful.
Wink at yourself. Like, shit, you got it going on.
Yeah,
you
you
know,
guys
like
just remember that. Like,
treat yourself nice.
Treat yourself.
We're going to leave it there. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Kyle
Hollingsworth.
Goddamn, we scream from the top of our lungs. Past the sun, pounding on the drums. Band of 5, feeling so alive and high on the vibe. Far away in snow. Drunken initiations and copious can libations. With the lizard kings that sing a change and vindication. Time smoothed the edges of the rebel's mind. The dream was real, it was our time. We were young, had just begun. We were young, outshine the sun, outshine the sun. We were young, had just begun. We were young, outshine the sun.
I'm trying to call Jake. I'm like doing all kinds of
Hey,
silly
Jake,
stuff.
you ready for
What's
four
up,
and a
baby?
half?
Why don't you take a couple
No, here
breaths?
we go.
Hello.
Kyle, how you doing, man?
Good. You called us 60 seconds ago.
Yeah, that was me. And then it said call failed.
Weird.
Yeah,
Weird.
it's okay. We're all good.
Very good.
Take a breath.
Awesome.
This is Aaron. How you doing?
Good. Good. Where are you guys calling from?
Portland, Oregon.
Nice. How are things out there?
Crazy weird. Shit.
But beautiful weather.
I got two others here with me.
Hey, Kyle. This is Mel. We're just over here enjoying the
Awesome.
60-degree weather in Portland. It's beautiful.
And then you got
Yeah,
the-
we got 60 today too, and we
Ooh.
were out biking and enjoying the weather for sure.
where are you at?
Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, Boulder.
shit,
It's
yeah.
beautiful. I lived there for a while. And this is Apple. I'm the third one here this evening. And thank you very much for giving us some of your time in this weird world we're living in.
Exactly. Well, the funny thing is we're all finding ways to enjoy. I don't know. It's like we're not hanging out with each other as much, but I'm still enjoying my family and outside time, and maybe it's time to slow down. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny, Kyle. Like you say that. That was the first thing that came to my mind when all this started happening, and like my job told me I had to work from home, and all this stuff starts happening, and then I was like, you know what? This is really kind of cool. This part of it is giving me an opportunity to do all the shit that I never had time to do.
I ended up getting some baby chicks. Our neighbor has a little, not a farm, but they have a back coop, and they were thinking about getting some chicks. And I was like, well, the kids are home from school, and I'm homeschooling, which I don't know how to do at all. no idea what algebra is or any of that stuff. Spelling, forget it. But I can get little chicks, and so they have like these little things in our basement where they can kind of hold and play with them and watch them grow. So yes, the answer what you're saying, yes, we're all kind of finding ways,
Yeah,
to kind of relax.
Are you? How are you feeling about everything? Let's get it out of the way, and then we could talk about everything else. Because
how you feeling? I'm feeling very good. Thank you for asking.
good.
No cough. Everything's great here. I just released a new EP, and so I'm kind of riding on the high of that. But overall, things have been great. String Cheese decided to take 6 months off at the exact correct time. We decided to take off from December to June. And so it was a long, needed break. It's been probably more like 26 years at this point. So,
Without a 6-month break or more?
we did do a time when we kind of imploded, and Billy said, I'm out of here. And so then we took probably a year and a half off at that point in time. But that was a little less planned.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that's a long time to keep going.
That's a long time. 26 years is a long time, and then you wonder, are we still growing? I think we are as a band. I think things like this, the break, are really important for us to kind of explore outside just the cheese world.
Yeah, and creating an EP like you just did, we were all just listening to it before we called, and the thing that comes to my mind when anybody that's in a really successful band does something on their own, I wonder how is it for you when you go in and start creating music on your own as opposed to when you're creating with the guys in Cheese? Because it's got to be a different creative experience for you, right?
It is. It's challenging both ways, I'd say, because you've been working with people I've been working with my family, that what I call them the mothership, that's String Cheese, for 26 years. You just get to know each other, and you start knowing how people react. So when you get into like a situation where you're writing or being creative together, certain, not barriers, but certain expectations kind of get pushed upon you. And so it's fun. You can kind of come in with String Cheese, and they can, as a brothership, you can be like, okay, this is creative. I can bring this to this. Oh, wow, I never thought about that. Sometimes on your own, you can kind of fulfill a complete dream. Like, this is where I wanted it to be, and this is where it ended up. Yeah. And so I think there's great things about both. I think sometimes when I'm by myself, everything becomes very Kyle-esque. Oh, that's going to be kind of funky, something, and that's going to be very way Kyle would perform. Versus if I had Jason or someone else from String Cheese, they would have pushed me in a different direction. But I do enjoy kind of having all the reins. You're like, nope.
Yeah.
Guess what? It's going this way.
Yeah, and it's cool too, man. Like when we started listening, we were sitting in the kitchen. Mel and I were in the kitchen, and what did you say, Mel? It reminded you of
a lot of things. It reminded me
the first song on the EP. Yeah. Oh God, I can't remember what you said now.
What was that one? That's the white reggae song.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Jack Johnson, Michael Frente.
A little ALO in there, right?
Yeah, like just cool vibes, like super fun and like good mood music, like totally fun music to accompany you on your
journey.
Yeah, on your journey, whatever it may be.
But then when I said to Mel, I was like, just wait, because every song is completely different.
Exactly, just wait. Let me go down the cakes, and this one sounds like cake. And then, with String Cheese, that's like, for example, I did a Vampire Weekend cover on the new
the Step.
The Step, and did get Step. And so then that's something String Cheese probably would have not, resonated with. It would have been kind of a push for me to go through. And I was like, well, this is the perfect time to think outside the jam band box to some degree, and also outside of my own comfort zone.
I really like that, because we have a fourth member of No Simple Road who's 25 years old, and he's here this evening, but he's doing some other things. He's not as into the jam band, and I left him out there earlier with Step. I didn't even say anything, and he's like, I know this song. And I was like, yeah. So I really appreciate when you guys do things like that to bring these, younger guys into it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Vampire Weekend. I've been for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the fact that it's not all the same. That I feel like when listening to your solo stuff, we are getting to meet you musically. Whereas when you listen to Cheese, you're hearing all of you musically. But this is more personal as far as I'm concerned.
That's cool. I might use that quote. That's okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, man. Have at it.
It's true. Like for the last tune, it's once again it's an EP, so it's all of 5 songs or 4 songs or whatever it is. The last song was slightly written by String Cheese and by my solo band. It's Tucknell's Retreat. So that's a perfect example of me I brought in the song to Cheese originally, and I said, here's this kind of thing I want it to be, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer meets Yes. I want it to be kind of an instrumental, organ-driven song, and Travis was like, yeah, this sounds so square. We need to go to like 6/8 in the middle, and we need to do this whole we need to do a classical fugue moment. Kang said, and said, oh, these are all really great ideas. I would never have thought about that. And so then we got into the point where we were running out of time to record new String Cheese material, and this was kind of at the bottom of the barrel. And people were like, that's cool. Develop it more. And so then I said, that's cool, but I'm going to take it to KHB, and they fully fleshed out the whole song. And so it's the first combination between Cheese and KHB, really, honestly.
You know what's funny about that song, when Emily hit me up to see if we could put something together and talk, you and I was actually listening to that song when the email came in. And I was like, okay, that's fucking weird. All right. That's absolutely. Yeah. I love when stuff like that happens, man.
So
the album moves all over the place. So
I wonder how, like, all of you guys clearly have your own solo styles, and then you get together, and then you're Cheese. But like, working with it's like 20-something years, 26 years, like, is it hard for you to find your own sound again?
Right. That's a really good question. I would think.
What is a city without its music?
The legacy of the New York Philharmonic
is incredible. Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil story made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
What makes Cheese is the 5 different elements, or 6 different elements that come together to make us who we are. And I think we kind of hold on to that. Like, Iodo definitely has which is Travis and Jason's band.
Yeah. They're awesome.
They're super awesome. And then, Kang's like, I really want to do the Brazilian Girls thing. And so he'll come in all charged up from what he's been listening to, and Billy's like, I've been doing this, I've been checking out this, and Keith's always like, Tom Petty is awesome. So I think we keep our souls or things that we feel important to us close to our heart.
Okay.
And so that, and then we kind of spread it out and see how it flies with the rest of the band. And I think in the middle, we as a band, we've gone to therapist, which is a good thing to do. It's a very bolder thing to do. And so we went and saw them, and we were talking a lot about the member of the band that's in the middle. That's none of us. Like, we have to respect the person that's in the middle of all of us.
Like
so
the,
I think
like the middle child.
Yeah, a little bit, like make sure that is not being forgotten by my personal need to do a KHB tour, or Kang wants to go blah, blah. We have to remember that there's this person in the middle or this spirit in the middle that's all of us. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
So then that thing that we all experience when we go see Cheese is the cumulative collective of all of your musical personalities put together. And that's the thing that's resonating with all of us when we go see you guys.
Exactly. And we have to remember that as band members, because sometimes you forget it after 25 years. But for sure.
Because do you remember anything else before that? Like, musically, like, that's so crazy to have, like, 26 years is a long time to do something.
It is a long time. Half my life, basically.
Yeah.
Literally. I'm 52. Yes. I think there was life before Cheese. I think there was.
You kind of recall a time.
That's a fuzzy, and that's why all my songs, like We Were the Young on my new album, and then like Live Forever, which is the first song, they're all kind of like bits and flashes of who I was before then. But no, for sure, I have memories of everything I was doing. I think I grew up in Baltimore. From Baltimore, and then moving out here and working. I was going to be I came out here to be a forest ranger.
What?
Come to Colorado and be a forest ranger, even though I have a jazz piano degree. And then I was like, that's a lot of more schooling, and it's a lot of super time alone in the woods. Or I could join this other band called String Cheese and travel around. So I have memories of that. And for sure, like, Kang was kind of in a band that I was playing around with early on, but he tempted me to join String Cheese, and he said, come on, join us, just sit in for one night. And I have yet to not sit in.
Yeah, right. That's a hell of a sit in, Kyle.
Exactly.
Good job, man. You were the first addition to the original trio, right? Quartet, yeah.
I believe the whole band was there prior to me. Yes, it was.
Was it hard to come into that, like, because it was a thing already, and then coming into it as the new addition? Was it a big adjustment?
I mean, I joined, I guess, in 98. They've been in the band since 96 or 7, so they were still kind of finding out who they were. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't that difficult. The most challenging was dealing with some personalities around the band that kind of were, management and booking, and because they'd kind of known that this is the band the way what it was. These four people are String Cheese, and who's this new guy? So for me, kind of breaking through to the people around String Cheese, the people in the band were all about it.
Right.
But some of the other guys in the scene like, no, these are my boys. You know, what are you doing? You're not one of the boys. Do you know how to ski? I'm like, I ski. Yeah, can you tell him, Mark? I was like, I don't know what that even is. I don't know. You want to take a shower like every day? I'm like, gross. And they were like, no, if you're in the band, you get to take a shower like every 2 weeks. I was like, no, that sounds really gross. So I have to do that. So there was a little bit of hazing for sure happening.
It's funny you bring up taking showers every 2 weeks. That reminds me of this whole thing that we're doing started as a Grateful Dead podcast and grew into what we're doing now, talking to everybody. And, that whole scene was a huge turning point in my life. It was a milestone for me, and it changed the rest of my life. It altered the course of my reality forever.
Nice.
I'm 48.
In a good way.
Yeah, in a beautiful way. It gave me an entire life that I have now. Like, I wouldn't be where I am without it. And listening to songs like The Big Reveal, it seems as though you may have had a similar experience.
Yes, and those are one of those songs. It's funny you mentioned that song specifically because that was on the teetering edge of KHB versus SCI, and then I said this makes a lot more sense with SCI. Yes, so that song was, first of all, when did it change for you? What year was that?
My first show was February 10th, 1989 at the Forum in LA. On
not that you're keeping track.
5 really big
no
drops
kidding,
of liquid acid.
Yeah. I think Big Reveal was a similar vibe. I don't know what exact date was. I can't remember. It was when they're on tour with Bob Dylan and
right around then, yeah.
Tom Petty. They had just broken out of, like, I saw them at the Berkeley, the Greek in California.
Mm-hmm.
And Touch of Grey had just hit the radio in California, and then, like, I couldn't see them in a small place ever again.
Yeah.
Giant. So it was, the Big Reveal was speaking of those moments of finding community where you didn't expect it. Finding friends in places you didn't think you would.
Yeah.
For me, it was, I was like, wow, okay, this is maybe where I should be. Like, I don't know. For me, I was 15, 16, and you're a little bit, in your head and confused. It was nice to kind of find the community that was there. There was, some bad parts of that community too, but at the moment in time I was there, it was really positive, and I felt like I could connect with those people a lot. And I did the best I could. See, I'm on the East Coast style, so.
Oh shit! Yeah, you probably got to see
a whole
a lot
different
of good
thing.
stuff. Yeah, it's a little different.
There was, but it's definitely different, the vibe. You go from, DC, Philly, you could follow them for a little bit. But eventually my mom's like, you got to come back and mow the lawn.
Do your laundry.
Right.
Everybody's always trying to get you to take showers, man. That's
yeah, you're right. My mom takes a shower.
It was such a big deal, and then to see it like that, to have that perspective on it. I mean, that song for me, Big Reveal, was a big deal for me because it meant that somebody else saw it similar to the way I see it. And it felt good to have that resonance. You know what I mean? Like that connection. And
oh, that's great.
Yeah, man. And I just wonder, like, now you're the guy with the community following you around. And is that heavy? Is that a heavy responsibility? Do you think about that often?
Well, no, because I appreciate the thoughts of that it's that heavy, but it isn't that heavy for me because I don't think about it that much as far as if I have any responsibility to a fan base. And also, second of all, the crowd base you're speaking of for Jerry was stadiums large.
Yeah.
So but I know there's some psychic energy in there that you're speaking as well. But I don't know. live in that space. I just try to be as creative as I can, and I don't read online reviews. I never get on Facebook other than for what I have to do for work. And for me, you know, I see a little bit of it when when Pigeon guy or somebody comes up to us and I studied your piano solo when I was in college.
Oh, wow.
With a Pigeon keyboard player or something, or one of the guys, and I was like, wow, you took my piano solo and you transcribed it with your professor. I was like, that's kind of embarrassing.
Oh, that's
maybe there's a moment in time, like there was a couple cool licks here and there, but like it's not no Herbie Hancock stuff going on. So like I would walk up to my professor when I was in college and be like, can I help me with this John Coltrane or this Herbie thing? And I was very honored. And so all I can say is I'm honored that people feel that way. But I don't know.
That's a much better way to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no weird expectation or nothing. It gives you the freedom to just keep creating instead of feeling like, ooh, what am I creating and how are they going to take it? It's like, no, it's just my groove. Like,
Do my thing.
Yeah.
Well, what it's all about is now I usually chime in. This is Apple talking, and I usually have more than a question. I have statements, and they always laugh at me about this. But I just got to say, there's something I've said this recently several times. We've interviewed a lot of keyboard players. You also during a show, you look so fucking happy behind the keyboard. You were like the focus for me. With like if things start to get a little weird or something, it's like focus on Kyle. He's having a blast.
It's all gonna be okay.
Yeah, and you just look like you're having so much fun. And I'm sure you do like him because I hear it in your style. You remind me of like a hipper, cooler nowadays version of like Casey and the Sunshine Band.
Oh my gosh! But I love Casey.
And like you bring the funk and everything so hard. You were so fun to watch, and when the way you guys do the costume things. And that's what it's all about. Forget all of the, critics and things like that. What matters is you guys are having fun on stage because then we feel it. Because we saw you last year in Eugene.
Oh, wow. That was
We saw
awesome.
you there. And it was raining like pretty heavy.
Oh, my God. You guys are rock stars for coming out through that rain.
Dude, we
had one nice night, I think. Barely nice. But
barely nice. It like broke for a little bit. And at one point we were just like, okay, these supposed waterproof jackets are not working anymore. Me and Aaron looked at each other and just took our jackets off. We're in our t-shirts, drenched through our Levi's head to toe, and just danced our asses off and had so much fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's so great.
You know what, Kyle? Seriously, man, and it's not because we're talking to you on the phone. These guys will verify I've said this away from this. I've been to a lot of shows in my life. I've seen a lot of live music, a lot of different styles, a lot of different things. That show in Eugene, that night when the rain was pouring, was my favorite show I've ever been to in my whole life.
And he did say that. Yeah.
We are actually, that reminds us, what night was that?
It was your first night.
Because we are going to do some live stream. I know a lot of bands are going to live streams right now because of what's going on, and we've been looking for some favorite shows by fans to kind of like to put up for people to see or at least listen to.
Dude,
I'll put that down as one of them.
Cool. Yeah. Does Cheese have any? Well, you said you guys were taking a break. Are you guys planning on?
We were taking a break, but we decided that why not? Like, why not keep fans happy, and why not release music? So we're going to do a New Year's run coming up soon, or at least one of the shows with Sam Bush coming up, and either this Friday or next Friday. So just keep your eyes open. It'll be some sort of name to it. I don't know what it's going to be.
One of our good buddies, Jake, will know it. He is such a fan of yours. And
when we were there, we got to sit down with Jason and talk to him.
Oh, great!
And it was like, I didn't know. I'm not as versed in, who's on first and who's on second musically, but I just love to dance and shake it. And I like having time with Jason and now having time with you. Like, it's really great to individually talk to the members of the band, because then like I like after I go back and listen, like you really will come up for me. Like my ears just kind of perk up, and all of a sudden you're at the head. And for that night, that night after we talked to Jason, the same thing happened, and it's just kind of a neat thing to be able to hear your specific, personality in that whole 6-person mix.
Yeah, for sure. Well, how's so interesting when you guys think about how that relates to. First things first. So, string cheese, I feel like it's always been kind of the heart of our heart has always been on the West Coast, which in my mind is kind of the Grateful Dead, and we have a lot of long, silent spaces or quiet spaces that build up. Versus like the East, I feel like East versus West is almost like a gangster thing.
In the jam.
It's always been
you
like
have
that.
Widespread and Fish. You have the New York vibe. It's like, and like we could have gone there, but we kind of went towards the West Coast with that. A little bit more than I think other bands did. But when you think about like the Grateful Dead, I guess do you think they have similar? Like when you mentioned, I hear Brent now more than I did before. Or was it always Jerry up front?
No. Well, for me, I'm a late bloomer in the Dead, and I never saw Jerry or anything like that. My introduction was further, and so I just liked the songs. That's what drew me in first, because I love to dance, I love to sing, all of that. But yeah, when we interviewed O'Teal, all of a sudden, the bass was like my favorite, and I could hear him, and it was so cool. And I was like, oh my God, like it's really is like kind of like, if you see a photographer and they have a style like Ann Getty's, right? Like then you can recognize them. And that's what it is like with you guys, it's a signature. You're just one of 6 before we talk. And then after we talk, it's like, oh, that's Kyle. And it's just kind of a neat, it's just like a really great feeling to be able to do the show and to see that and to feel the music even on a deeper level.
Well, and also to add on to that's kind of after, like when we started this, there was no mission statement to it. It was just me talking. And after talking to you guys and then having that experience that Mel's referencing, I was like, wow, holy shit. If it's changing the music for us, it's changing the music for the people that are listening to the show too, because they're connecting with these artists in the same way. And we can make a deeper experience for all of us.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
I totally agree with that.
Yeah, I've said this before. It's like if you were a sports team, like now we'd be like, "Ooh, Kyle, number 26," like
short,
yeah, left field, whatever. Like, but it is like that. Like if you've been, you're a fan of other music, and so that bass player, that keyboard, yeah, it's just it's just a really neat thing to be able to hear what's inside of you and then feel what comes out through the music.
Yeah. And you asked about the Dead and that whole thing, and that too was something that was brought up that night at that show. This is kind of heady and out there, but whatever. The vibe of the music, Cheese is its own thing. You guys are masters of what you guys do, all of you. And when sonically, the way that the music sounds is its own thing, but the vibe of it, the heart of what the music that you guys are doing, I feel that same feeling that I felt in the Forum or at Shoreline back in the day.
That happiness.
It's that same frequency.
I remember him saying that when we were walking. Now we're walking in the rain back to our hotel, and he was like, I'm so fucking happy, man. Like we all were. It's like so much joy you guys bring. And you guys too have the same thing. Like the Dead, you have a very fierce following of fans that are very, very protective of you guys and stuff like that. And including us. It's really cool to see a band that has such a hardcore following of people that just love you so much, and for damn good reason.
It's funny because we're all human, and I don't remember that show specifically. Yeah, I remember that weekend being really fun. I remember that weekend being fun, and then the year prior being really fun too, or a couple years prior maybe it was. But we walk off stage and we talk about the show to some degree, or we'll walk off and do our own things. But it's the moment on stage that's precious. But we're also walking off stage with personalities. So as much as you're feeling it, which is great, and I'm feeling the same way when we're on stage. Sometimes when we walk up, we're still just, oh, well, I wish Billy hadn't done that, or something. It's still like we're perfectionists. Like, oh, I should have done this better, or when I went to hit that one note, it should have been an E flat instead of an E or something. And it's cool to hear your perspective, because for us, sometimes it doesn't always come across that way in our minds. But it's good to know.
We hear that a lot. It's a trip to hear. A lot of times when we interview people, they're like, and we've interviewed some people in person when you really see the eye connection, and you're like complimenting them, and they're like, "Really? Are you sure? I didn't really feel it tonight. I couldn't really see the crowd. A lot of things we never thought of, they're like, I felt the connection, like the energy, but I didn't see it.
But that's something I never thought about, is coming off stage and having to deal with personality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the gentlest way.
No. I get it. I get what you mean. You're in that musical space, and then you come off stage and you're human again. You know, it's the same thing for us, where I'm dancing, I'm 9 miles high, and I can control the universe. And then I'm in the parking lot, and I got to drive back to the hotel.
The lights come on. And
I get it.
Like,
yeah,
damn it.
Go home.
Fuck, I can't. But
what do you think happens there, Kyle, in that space, in between the drive home and getting there?
That's an interesting thing. I think at least for how on the band on stage, I say our mantra is to speak to that person in the middle, or let the egos go and let spirit or God or whoever move through you. And so you're not playing music, music's playing you. And that's an amazing thing. I would say that happens, every 5 shows. I mean, you do the best you can. Yeah. But when that happens, and then maybe there's some show where everybody's in the same space. And we're all kind of linked into you. Say again?
Do you recall a show when you guys were all in the same space?
First night at Eugene. No, I don't remember any.
Good answer.
No, this is actually no joke. This feels real. I felt the Eugene in the Northwest was always like Portland whole area. It's been very kind to us. So we kind of come in with that spirit already out on our sleeves. But I don't know. I think Red Rocks is wonderful, but sometimes it's so filled with, somewhat big things and family and everything. It's the small random shows that kind of after, like, let's say we've done like 4 shows or 5 shows in a row, a 6th show on a Tuesday in Detroit or something is the one like, everything's been broken down. There's no agendas. Let's just play music. We're slightly grumpy to each other, but we get on stage and we're just like, let it go.
Boom. Well, that makes sense too, because you're kind of approaching those shows with no expectations. Like Red Rock, you have expectation. Like, we're playing Red Rock.
Exactly.
I mean, but I wonder too, like 26 years in, and you're playing Red Rocks. Do you feel like there's an expectation from the fans to play different at Red Rocks than you would at a Tuesday in Detroit?
Exactly. No, you need to make your next interview needs to be Travis. He would love to talk to you. He has the great spirit of the band, kind of keyed in on his radar. But the idea would be that we would play to that intensity and play that musically connected with any show we go to.
Right, of course.
And Red Rock certainly has gotten better. I think we were on like something ridiculous, like 48 shows there or something. I think Widespread has 50. Wow. We have 48. We're like, they're the first. They have the most. And we're like second the most. But
well, because coming for you. They never come past Denver. Damn it.
That's the problem. Like one day, maybe, anyway. So we walk on stage after many, many times of playing, and we're getting more relaxed every time, for sure. Okay. I think it depends a little bit on, conditions. The weather can be super crappy and snowing, or there's lightning, but you try to walk on stage with the best attitude, especially on big shows like that. And then we're going to Electric Forest, which then you have a Electric Forest crowd, which is kind of like why they're staring at us. Like, what? You're playing things called instruments. We don't know what they are. Where are the computers, and why can't you just press play? And so we try to bring the spirit wherever we go, for sure.
Yeah, and Electric Forest looks like the most fun party, man. And I'm really excited for Hog Farm too. I mean, that land is magical. And was that you guys as a band's idea, or did that come from outside?
That was from outside. I think it was management and a couple of band members that know some people from there, and they kind of all came together. We've been looking for a West Coast version of, well, Electric Forest, I know, is beyond where it started, but Corny's Hideout was up in Portland, right? Was it Portland?
20 minutes from our house.
20 minutes from us here.
Exactly. And now the String Summit and stuff, but originally we kind of brought that vibe that we actually saw originally in Japan at Fuji Rock Fest. We walked through the forest many, many years ago and had disco balls and weird hammocks. And we're like, this is a great idea. So we took it to Eugene, and put it together. Sorry, Portland, and put it. Was it Portland or Eugene? I'm sorry.
It's in Portland. It's out in Portland. And we kind of brought it there, and then we brought the same vibe to Electric Forest. So we're looking for something in California that we could make our own, and they kind of stepped up, and Hog Farm is ready to go with us. And it's exciting, that was where Kang, we played Hog Farm many years ago, and it's at Wavy Gravy's World, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep.
And Kang ran off in some weird super mushroom high and wrote Howard, which was this crazy Journey song, kind of Journey, but lacking parts of it kind of go in different directions. Epic is what we call it. And he came back from sitting in the Hog Farm and wrote this crazy song about a pig, and then you got Keller involved, and it got really weird. But that happened many, many years ago on Hog Farm, and that's, a place where a lot of magic can happen. So we're excited about that. And it's early June, I think, right?
Yep. Yeah, and we're all holding our breath.
Hopefully all things considered here.
We're all holding our breath as well.
Well, that doesn't say you had a show coming up here to the Goodfoot on April 30th. We're going to be coming to see you, but now we'll see what happens. Exactly.
I think that's still. I got the call about that yesterday, 2 days ago. They're still in the fence.
Okay,
but,
cool. That's far enough out still. I think people are not reacting to that yet. So
I know, but it's a thing for sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I got to ask you too, because all right, this is a 2-part question. First of all, I got to give you credit. You know how to keep the party going with your Brewski tour when Cheese isn't doing stuff. And I also have read and we've heard that your love of craft beer, which up here we live in craft beer heaven.
Right. And the Kazi up there, a lot of good stuff.
Now that's just, I guess my question is, how is that? Pulling together the Brewski tour? Where that sounds like so much fun. You're just going to all these cool places like ski resort areas and hooking up with breweries, collaborating on awesome IPAs, and
the brew angle has been going on for at least 8 years or so. I started homebrewing when I was 18. Everything my brother did was cool.
Yeah, me too, Kyle.
He saw the Grateful Dead. I was like, "Oh, Grateful Dead's awesome! I gotta go see that." Mm-hmm. He smoked pot. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna smoke pot. That's super awesome. Let's do that too." And then he started brewing beer. I was like, "Wow!" I was only 15 or 16, and I was like, "I don't know if I'm old enough to do it," but I joined him, and it was really fun to kind of make it wasn't the alcohol necessarily. It was more just the process of putting all these ingredients together and coming out the other end with something completely different, almost magical. So I felt like, yeah, exactly. So for me, 6 or 7 years ago or whatever it was, I started thinking about how I approach music as far as putting all the elements together and something coming out the other end. So that's kind of the way I brew. I've been brewing since then, since I was 18. And so for me, it kind of connects to how I take chances playing music and how I take chances brewing. And sometimes it's a great solo or the worst beer you've ever made, but it doesn't matter. It's just kind of fun to kind of have the process. So I took it to some other breweries around the country, and it's been fantastic. It's been I have 5 or 6 national beers and another 20 or so beers throughout the country. They're more local that didn't make it in cans, but I made it for the shows, and it was really fun.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
The SCIPA was for the 25th anniversary. Was that what that was?
Yep. Out. That was with Oscar Blues, and that was probably my 5th national brew. I did one with Stone, with me and Alice Cooper's guitar player. We got together. We went over to Stone and made a beer with them, and then here in Boulder with Boulder Beer called Hoopla. Here in Nevada, I've done one with, and then East Coast, I've done a couple others as well.
That's so fun.
Sweetwater.
Oh yeah. So it may be like asking what your favorite song you've ever written is. Do you have a favorite beer that you've brewed?
That I brewed personally?
Yeah, like one that you think back to and you're like, God, I want to pull that off again.
Exactly. I found that recipe. I thought the one I made was with Relics magazine. You know Relics?
Yeah.
Relics made the beer with me with Sweetwater, called Ground Score, and that was really good. I thought that was had a life for a while. I think all beers kind of have a life, an arc of a year or so, and that beer worked really well. That was really fun.
That's cool.
Well, it's true. Like people want something new. That especially nowadays, there's so much. Like up here, there's when we moved up here 4 years ago. I mean, Ryder's goal was to try every local brewery. We've been here 4 years. I still haven't. There's just too many.
I know, and you start wondering a little bit, like, how can all these people be like surviving? And it's a good thing that people are being creative, you know.
And like you said,
in Colorado.
A new one comes out, it's your favorite, but then that change kind of like shows, and you know, it's like this is my new favorite, and then 2 weeks later, it's like, oh, okay, this is my new favorite.
It is, it's true, and then I find like I do a little talk around the country about beer and music and the connection for me. But one of the points I bring up is like I think it's important to be consistent with the music and the beer as far as like two different elements, but. Your new favorite beer could be great, but all of a sudden they run out of supply or they can't make it the same. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, it was so great. You know, 6 weeks ago, it's like going to see your favorite band. Like, wow, that's really cool. But the second time I saw them, it really sucked. Or like it's important to kind of be fairly consistent in how you perform, and you're willing to take chances, but you have to have the basics under your fingers and be willing to explore beyond that. Like sometimes I feel like some of the brewers that go out there are just like, we have a one hit wonder. Let's just run this out and maybe it'll change a little bit, but that's fine, versus like maybe taking a chance to kind of expand the palette a little bit more as far as like getting your fingers under jazz or under blues and making sure you get a chance to kind of explore all these different aspects. Sorry, I'm getting super geeky.
No, I liked it. I love this approach that you're taking to the beer. Wow.
Well, it goes into everything. He's managed to connect the dots in his life. You know what I mean? And I think that's the goal of a lot of us, is taking the things that we're passionate about and being able to make a living from them first, and also having them overlap like that and seeing the commonality in it to where it,
and to constantly receive enjoyment from it.
Yeah, finding the joy in it.
But I was going to add before we get off the beer subject, as if you haven't heard of it, when next time you're up in this area, there's a brewery, Great Notion Brewing.
Great Notion, no.
Great Notion.
Oh, Jesus.
They're known as like the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory of beer up here. They do like Growler, the can Growler.
Yeah,
they do limited releases, and the people line up for it because they don't do huge batches, but they do like blueberry pancakes, s'mores, and then there are other more regular beer. And the stuff is amazing. Aaron's not a real beer drinker. Every time we've had that, he's like, "Yeah, I'll have some beer." So
nice,
great Notion. Remember that next time you're up in the Pacific Northwest.
Maybe when we come to Hog Farm, I'll bring you a little sample pack.
Oh yeah, we'll be going to Hog Farm. Yes, we will do that. I'll make sure that happens.
Yeah. Wow. So before we take off, we would be remiss if we didn't get into what's going on out there just a tiny bit. And I know that the people out there are tripping out and everybody's a little bit weird at the moment. And I think one of the opportunities that we have, those of us that people listen to and hear from on a weekly basis or whatever, or the musicians that are out there, is to help put their minds at ease and give them ideas of things they can do while they're sitting at home doing anything. So do you have any advice for anybody out there during this?
Well, I don't know if I have advice. I
Home
know
brewing.
it's working for me.
Yeah.
Home brewing right now. I finding activities, especially I have young children, 8 and 12, that are family oriented, things that help us grow as a family for sure. Like I said, we got the chicks, we got the little chickens, and having some source of like, oh, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work on this, and having little goals for us, you know. And we've been playing a lot of games, and it's a challenging time. And I don't really know what to say other than, you know, focus on the loved ones around you.
That's awesome
that's
advice,
perfect,
Kyle.
man.
Thanks for the reminder. That's so true. Giving not just your kids, but yourself something to look forward to together. That's rare these days, unless it's like a planned vacation. But something.
Well, maybe that's the goal. I mean, that's the goal, but maybe that's the one thing we can look at as being positive. Is maybe we're all trying to get more connected. I don't know, or maybe at least I don't know.
I think you do know.
Grounded.
You know something, Kyle. Come on, give it to yourself. You know something.
Hey, it's giving us all an opportunity to slow down, man. You know,
maybe that's it. Yeah.
Fuck.
Thank you.
I'm always going 1,000 miles an hour. These guys are.
It's
too.
making our country reevaluate itself at the moment now too.
Yep. And you know what? Hopefully we'll come out the other side of it, and it'll be a little bit better.
We will. We'll be hanging out at Hogs Farm Hangout, maybe seeing Kyle on April 30th. Things are going to be good.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, man, I appreciate you taking time with us like this. That was really fun, man.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks so much for having me.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure.
And
if Travis wants to be on, tell him we'll hit him up.
Heck
we would
yeah.
love to.
Heck yeah.
We got you and Jason now. We need to work our way through the band. We want to talk to everybody.
Yes. I mean, yeah. Brian's the guy to talk to about that for sure.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, man.
Thanks,
All right,
Kyle.
Kyle. You have a
Enjoy your
great
time.
night.
Thanks so much for enlightening us, man.
Take care.
Later, brother.
Bye-bye.
Hey, listeners. I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
That was cool.
That was
String
really
cheese
cool.
Kyle.
That was another one of those that went by very, very.
I know, man. I looked down at the clock. I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, we went
I
quite a
have
bit
like
over
an
hour.
internal clock that after a while I almost like feel the internal bing of like it's time to wrap it up.
I
Not because it's the conversation is
But like we always
It's
said,
like-
being respectful of their time.
exactly. It's like, okay, dude, he's got his kids.
Yeah,
He's home.
You're at home chilling.
I really appreciate him in the midst of what's going on, taking time
Yeah.
to talk to No Simple Road.
Well,
Like,
same thing with New Tribe the other day.
Yeah, man.
That was really sweet. Like
Yeah.
a lot of things. I mean, it's not like they have a lot of other things to do right now, but maybe they just don't feel like dealing with it, publicly. And they both were gracious enough to do that. So thanks, Kyle, and thanks, New Tribe, for chatting with us and giving
to have
our
Kyle say that Eugene the first night was his favorite show ever. That was amazing.
Sincerely,
that was great,
right?
Kyle.
Yeah,
That
he
was
meant it. It
great.
was from the
That's
heart.
a
I
great
could feel
answer.
All right, you guys. You know what to do. All the things and stuff and whatnots, the social medias and the Facebooks and
Hit us up on Patreon,
Support everybody.
guys.
Support
5
us.
stars.
Yeah,
Support
we need your help
favorite
right now.
musicians.
All that stuff.
Support your family.
Yeah.
Support yourself. Support
your parents.
Support your support.
Yeah.
Safety first.
Yep.
Hydrate.
See?
Wash your hands.
Yep.
Don't be dirty.
Cough into your crease of your elbow.
I heard
Vodka
that. I heard
is
that
not
was
hand
bad.
sanitizer.
Well, what if you're going to give somebody a hug afterwards?
So
that's bad.
they call it what? They
Quit
the
touching.
vampire.
Don't touch people.
It's called the vampire cough. Yeah, the vampire cough is bad because it shoots the germs
Out from underneath?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Who fucking knows?
This is my favorite one.
They couldn't see that. You have to tell them.
Well, I would
coughed
pull
into
my
her
shirt over my mouth and like cough into
Now
my
you
shirt.
have a contaminated T-shirt.
On the inside, who cares?
Yeah,
Nope, I'm
she's
already contaminated
Yeah,
with
exactly.
myself.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Contaminated.
Can you contaminate yourself?
Yep.
I guess you could keep it going if you don't keep your shit clean around you.
You can make yourself grosser.
That's for sure.
You heard it here first, folks.
You can make
yourself
grosser.
grosser.
That is true. Very true statement.
All right.
Don't make yourself gross. Be cute. Take a shower. Wash up.
Yep.
Hand sanitizer.
Share the toilet paper.
Go
if you
listen
can.
to Kyle's new album.
Yeah.
It's called 2020. It's
2020.
out on all the streaming
Don't
platforms.
trip out on toilet paper.
And I have
take
I have
a shower.
I have one thing to say for real.
You better work.
Don't just listen to the album. Buy it. Help support these musicians that aren't working or touring right now. They need your help. All of them are struggling. Buy some merch. Buy
some
an
merch.
album.
I'm
Buy
going
a
to buy
vinyl.
Circles Around the Sun vinyl tonight.
Yep. So take care of our family, you guys. We love you. We'll see you soon next week with more stuff and things.
Yep.
Love ya.
But it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hell means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a newborn. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? Still, no simple road. Mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hi, this is Paul Phelps.
And this is Monica Strutt.
And we're from the Daily Music Business Podcast. We're joined by a number of other really great hosts in creating daily content with great advice for independent musicians just like you.
That's right. We put out episodes daily on all topics from music marketing to branding, advice on signing with a manager and label, and anything else you need to up-level the business side of your music career. We've got it covered.
Subscribe to the Daily Music Business Podcast today on your favorite podcast catcher.
Subscribe today to the Daily Music Business Podcast on your favorite podcast platform.